Have you ever wondered about the history of civilization? Today, we're delving into the vast, intricate tapestry of human history as encapsulated in the series The Story of Civilization by Will Durant. This fascinating collection comprises 11 books, each spotlighting different epochs and key figures that have left indelible marks on the annals of time. From the ancient civilizations of the East in our Oriental Heritage to the intellectual and cultural flourishing of the Renaissance, and all the way to the tumultuous upheaval of Rousseau and Revolution, Durant weaves a narrative that bridges the chasms of time. With protagonists ranging from renowned philosophers like Socrates and Plato, to towering political figures like Julius Caesar and Louis IV, each page turn is a step further into the past. Strap in, because we're about to embark on a captivating journey through human history. Prepare yourself for a captivating journey through human history. Imagine stepping back in time to the world of Hammurabi, Confucius, and Buddha, a world where ancient civilizations were crafting the very foundations of society. This is where our odyssey through the story of civilization starts, with our Oriental Heritage. The first book in the series, it takes us on an exploration from prehistory to the fall of the Ottoman Empire in 1922. The pages are filled with the tales of the great civilizations of Asia and the Middle East. From the laws of Hammurabi in Mesopotamia to the philosophies of Confucius in China, from the spiritual teachings of Buddha to the grandeur of the Ottoman Empire, this book is a captivating chronicle of the Orient's contribution to civilization. And so, with our Oriental Heritage, we set the stage for our journey, a journey through time, through lives, through the story of civilization. Travel with us from the grandeur of ancient Greece to the dark ages of the medieval period. As we delve into the second book of this series, The Life of Greece, we find ourselves in the midst of a civilization that has shaped much of what we know today. From the Mycenaean civilization to the conquests of Alexander the Great, it's a journey through time that spans roughly 1200 years before Christ to 323 years BC. Imagine walking through the Agora, the marketplace of Athens, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Pericles, Socrates, and Plato. Or perhaps you're in the court of Alexander the Great, witnessing firsthand the ambitions and strategies of this legendary conqueror. The Life of Greece paints a vivid picture of this era, bringing to life the politics, philosophy, art, and warfare of ancient Greece. Next, we step into the world of Caesar and Christ, a tale that takes us into the heart of the Roman Republic and Empire. Here we meet influential figures such as Julius Caesar, Augustus, and the early Christian leaders. It's a journey that spans from the late Roman Republic to the early years of Christianity, from roughly 100 years before Christ to 313 AD. Our journey doesn't end there. The fourth book, The Age of Faith, catapults us into the medieval period. It's a time of knights and castles, of kings and queens, of faith and superstition. Key figures in this book include Charlemagne, the first Holy Roman Emperor, Thomas Aquinas, the influential philosopher and theologian, and Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire. This book covers a vast period from the 6th to the 15th century. These books take us through centuries, introducing us to the likes of Pericles, Julius Caesar, and Charlemagne. But more than that, they offer us a chance to understand our past, to appreciate the foundations upon which our present is built, and to contemplate the future that awaits us. Enter the era of rebirth and royal absolutism. The Renaissance unveils the revival of culture and learning that swept Europe from the 14th to the 17th century. This period saw the flourishing of luminaries like Leonardo da Vinci, whose genius spanned art, science, and invention. Michelangelo, another celebrated figure, left an indelible mark on the world with his masterpieces in sculpture, painting, and architecture. Then there's Machiavelli, whose political treatise, The Prince, offered a pragmatic, if ruthless, guide to leadership. Moving on to the Reformation, the stage is set for religious and political upheaval in the 16th century. Central to this narrative is Martin Luther, whose 95 Theses sparked a revolution against the Catholic Church's practices, leading to the Protestant Reformation. Another key figure, John Calvin, further shaped Protestantism with his teachings on predestination and the absolute sovereignty of God. Next, the Age of Reason begins, takes us into the Enlightenment, a period that championed reason, science, and individual rights. The spotlight here falls on thinkers like Voltaire, who used his wit and literary prowess to advocate for civil liberties and criticize religious dogma. Rousseau, another Enlightenment philosopher, championed the concept of a social contract, arguing for a government that represents the will of the people. And let's not forget Montesquieu, whose ideas on the separation of powers influenced many modern democratic systems. Finally, the age of Louis XIV centers on the reign of the Sun King. Louis XIV, who believed in the divine right of kings, ruled with absolute power, transforming France into the dominant power in Europe. His reign also ushered in a golden age of French culture, personified by figures like Jean-Baptiste Colbert, his finance minister, and Jean Racine, one of the leading playwrights of French classical drama. These books unravel the complexities of the Renaissance, Reformation, Enlightenment, and the reign of Louis XVI, illuminating the people and ideas that shaped these transformative epochs. Experience the intellectual awakening and the winds of revolution. As we delve into the last three books of The Story of Civilization, we journey through the Enlightenment and the French Revolution. The Age of Voltaire brings us face to face with one of the most influential thinkers of the Enlightenment. Voltaire, with his wit and skepticism, profoundly shaped this era, challenging the status quo and inspiring others to do the same. Then, we meet Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a man of passion and paradox whose ideas would fuel the fires of revolution. In Rousseau and Revolution, we witness the tumultuous events of the French Revolution, an upheaval that forever changed the world. Figures like Maximilien Robespierre and Georges Danton take center stage, embodying the ideals and the terror of this pivotal moment in history. These final books in the series bring us through the Enlightenment and the French Revolution, rounding out our journey through civilization's history.